Hello. So we have Ash versus Dao. I think this should be a close-ish match at least. Although Dao has been showing up a lot lately, I will consider him the dark horse of the tournament. So maybe it won't be close, but I will expect it to actually be close. Runner should
Yeah.
start then. Oh, go ahead.
And worth noting that the runners just agreed to a random start, so this is going to be a little bit unlike some of the past races we've seen this round, where you'll get a fairly consistent path through King's Pass and into checking shops or grubs. We don't know exactly how the beginning is going to look like, and so our discussion of early goals will look a little bit different this race.
About early goals, but I think the only one that you can kind of look down is well, it's yeah, three corner first location is really early now with. I think this is a stagnant stack, yeah? Yeah. So you can get the Howling Cliffs one, the Green Path one, and the Crossroads one really quick, or even the Fangal one if you get some sort of progression in Green Path. Although usually you could go to the right here into Crossroads, simply because that's more checks.
Yeah, it seems like you're pretty heavily advantaged to just go towards Crossroads the normal way.
There is consideration to be made towards Green Path though, because we have two shade kits on the board. So if you go towards Green Path and your opponent goes towards Crossroads, you are sacrificing your early progression probably, but you're locking down a goal. I wouldn't really like to see that play because early progression is kind of really important in Lockout, but it's a play that can be made and it's there. It's just that Green Path gets you what, 3 checks, 4 checks. Gets you the 2 at the start, gets you Hornet and the Pilot Seal. While Crossroads is gonna get you way more than those.
And if you're doing 2 Shade Gates, you can also go as far down as Queen's Station, but that's an awfully long walk to compared to how dense Crossroads and Dirtmouth is in terms of checks.
Yep. Kind of an interesting board in that sense though, because we have 2 Shade Gates, Recording for Locations, and Moss Prophet, which are all like in a central area, and also Lord Chalice in Mantis Village. Like there's a lot of things like concentrated on that left area, so the first person to find progression and actually go there will be kind of heavily advantage in the early game. And it looks like Dao
Looks like Dao's doing it.
Yeah. So if he finds progression somewhere here, he will be heavily advantaged. Otherwise, well, the thing about the stagnant stacks is kind of 50-50, you know? You have to choose either Crossroads or Green Path. And if you make the right choice, you pretty much win the early game because the time it takes to go over to the other side is very big. So well, I think Ash is gonna be getting more checks. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't factor in the ones here on the left side of Howling Cliffs. That will be closer to the goals. So it depends on which of the 50-50s is right, essentially.
And it's worth noting that King's Pass with nothing is not like the fastest way. So Ash is ultimately going to be advantaged with more checks, but Dao has the opportunity to really close in on goals and get some extra green path checks right now that he might be able to leverage.
Definitely. It's also not like with the Howling Cliffs checks, you get the 2 on that left side and then the 5 we told earlier, so that's 7. Actually, didn't even bother getting those, so I guess just get them here, King's Pass, assuming she'll get Fury, and then like the 5 in Crossroads.
And this is something I actually don't know. Does the hard save warp out to like the door here still work on random start?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
I think anytime you open the door, you get the hard save. But you have to actually open the door, so if it's already opened, you don't get it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, looks like Dao is gonna be hitting left and checking Green Path instead of just rushing the Shade Gates, which makes sense. I doubt he'll do Hornet, unless as a, he might do it as a last recourse before he actually heads over to Crossroads. I don't expect him to do it right now, though.
Yeah, and I mean, with 2 Alubas as a goal, it's not the worst thing ever, because it at least does set... And check Shape of Un. Killing Hornet does set you up for stuff later. But it is fairly slow and you have nothing.
Yeah, there's just better times to do it. He does not take the stack to their mouth. I'm gonna hope he's informed at the release. He did suggest to do a race not that like far ago, and I think he got it. I'm not sure if someone actually raced him, but the point is that he should be informed about their Mustang. So hopefully he's just trying to get to Shade Kids quickly and not simply unaware that it's a thing.
And Ash is going to check grub.
How many grubs do you have access to right now? All of the Okay, this is a bad play actually. 20 grubs for a dive.
D-Dark is a goal, so hopefully it won't come to that, but it might.
3 grubs for a Trampas. I'm not sure how relevant that is, but it's always nice to know you have it. And 21s for a Lantern, okay. So Grubfather is stacked, but it's like high numbers, so I'm not sure how much of him we'll actually see. It's kind of interesting because like once you get to like 20, 21 grubs, you have to actually like think of getting the grubs instead of just getting the quick ones. But at the same time, it's a big time investment, and none of the things he had are like required, so to speak. But there are things that you definitely can. They are nice to have, you know. You want to have Lantern or a copy of Dive if you never find one.
And as chat points out, 12 grubs was also for Dream Shield, which is a goal on the board. And that's sort of like the upper bound of what you can get by just doing grubs on your way. So that may also be a consideration.
Yeah. I think right now they have 10 grubs available to them. Well, not. I don't know if you want to count the most profit one because it's not in logic, but counting it, they have 10 grubs available to them. I don't expect them to get all 10 though. It looks like Ash will be starting the Crossroads locations. I don't know if Dao interacted with the Howling Cliffs one or with the Green Path one.
I don't think Dao has done either.
It's just weird that he will skip the Howling Cliffs one, but... Oh, Cloak for him.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, that makes recording for locations reachable from this side immediately. And it also, yes, you know, Cloak is good, makes Green Path a lot more chance. I'm trying to look if there's anything like immediate that he can get with that Cloak, but I don't really think so other than it's recording for locations. If he had a nail art, he could do... Could he? I think if he had a nail art, he could do most profit, but he doesn't have one. Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to.
And Dao, I think, is not informed about the location of the other Shade Gate because he slashed the one and then headed down to Queen's Station.
Oh. Maybe he starts recording for locations and wants to look Ash out. I'm really not sure. I hope he knows at the very least. Then again, like I said, there's a lot of things in Fungal, so rushing Fungal isn't that bad of a play. You get Mantis Pillage, if you find Vertical, you get most profit, and then there's recording for locations that we talked about.
But he's just going to grab the bench and head back, which makes me think he might be going for the Shade Gate goal first.
Yeah. Okay, nothing on their Mantis stack, so even if that weren't informed, he wouldn't really miss him much. And yeah, that will get on the board with this, assuming he marks it, which he does.
Yep.
I think he's on the left side, right side, sorry. Okay. One.
I got him.
Oh, you got it? Okay. I am marked it because I'm smart. I didn't even know you could unmark it. That's weird.
You know, just in case. I mean, we did have, as recently as last race, a case where the comms had to unmark a goal. So it can happen.
I'm not in the bingo room, speaking of that, so if they mess something up, I think you're gonna have to be the one to mark them. I doubt it'll happen, though.
Yeah, what happened last race was the 1500 Geo in the bank, because one of the runners withdrew the Geo. And there are very few goals left where you can put yourself in a position to have to unmark it. I think that's the only one, in fact, so...
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, that will get the urinal is right up. It's kind of very early to get the urinal for Void 10 rules, which I think is... There's also Common Garpit, but they don't have alive yet. It's also
Meanwhile,
faster
Ash collecting Tram Pass.
rounds. Does Trampus get here in, I mean, resting grounds, I guess. Makes sense if she really doesn't want to chase Tao, I guess. Because she knows that Tao is on the right side. It's just like resting rounds isn't gonna get you that much right now. It gets you 3 checks, I guess, one of which is the Dreammill cutscene, which a lot of people dislike.
Especially without dash, it's very, very long.
Either way, well, I'm not sure actually. I was gonna say that I expect her to chase Tao once he marks 3 corny first, because that will reveal that Tao has dash, but that's not necessarily true. Because Tao could have gotten the ones we talked about early with King's Run for Tao, by the way. With Crossroads, Green Path, and uh, Howling Cliffs with no movement. Doesn't look like Tao is actually going for corny first though. Which is a bit weird because the goal's right there, but I guess I trust him in a way to know what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Ash is not in a position where she can really easily snipe that. Resting Grounds is one, but she'd have to find another location or walk all the way around to get her third.
Well, I'm not. She can just set start and then she'll get the Howling Cliffs one.
Oh, that's right. So maybe it is in danger of being locked out, but Ash has to go through Dreamnail cutscene, and Dao's just going to continue around into Fungal.
Have we seen a life load charm, by the way? I feel like there might have been one at Grubs, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't remember seeing one.
I think I'm just simply remembering a set I played today, rather than actually being there. Mostly because 10 life lock is on the board, so a life lock charm would be nice. Life lock heart doesn't do much for it, but both Core and Jonis make it cool.
Yeah, with early Grim. Oh, Grimchild. That's potentially big.
Not a goal on this board, but it's still 2 checks that will not be getting anytime soon. Nothing at Lady Church and oh, Monarch Wings at Essence. I missed the number now.
It was 271 Essence, so that's theoretically pretty doable if either one gets a Dream now.
Yeah, they have access to Gorb. I was thinking now, is that really going all the way up to Crossroads to get Corny? I disagree with this pretty heavily when both Cornifer and Mantis Village tablets are on the board. Like, yeah, I guess there's more checks. Oh,
there's the other dash.
Rounds. I guess the runners are even with that pickup. But yeah, I definitely would like to see either runner really be getting goals. Because Cornifer is easily reachable, so is I complete the Mantis Village tablets. For either runner really, but especially for Tao.
Looks like Ash is headed back for her third corner for location right now.
I'm trying to... No, never mind. I was trying to think if Trampas got you any goals with Gom Carpet, but even if it does get you the Carpet with Vertical, you will still need the Gom. Yeah, it's gonna be a 1-1. I wonder if they'll alert Tao to get a move on with goals, or if he'll still continue to prioritize checks.
And corner for locations is obviously pretty location ambiguous, so Dad doesn't necessarily have the greatest idea where Ash is right now, other than that probably not in Green Path and behind him, because that would be bad for Ash.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess the early game doesn't matter that much on this board, because most of the things are like either random or gated by vertical. But it's still weird to see that, you know, there's goals reachable and, well, Plavo straight up ignored them. And, well, he has easy access to them, and Yeah, near run is really rushing them, I guess.
Instead, for a random start, we're actually getting a fairly typical shop check, sort of running around crossroads.
Yeah, this stagnant start is pretty much just go to crossroads immediately, not gonna lie.
It is worth noting that Dao is now actually ahead in terms of like the crossroads runaround, despite his early detour to get /2 shade gates. So for the time being, unless there is a movement disparity that Ash finds, maybe by checking Sly immediately, any of our obtain goals, Dao's going to get his hands on first.
Yep. Ash does have resting rounds progress though, but I don't know if Tao will take grabs anytime soon. So he might just not do resting rounds for quite a while. That's actually bad for Tao though, because Ash knows that there's a Dream Nail at 300 distance, which Tao might just completely skip over in a lockout setting. So looking at it that way, if well, as soon as we find a Dream Nail on top of the 6 map pins goal that I was keeping my eyes on, Ash will know that she has access to vertical. Well, that will still be blind for now. The Storm's a stack and Dream Wielder, which is a goal. Ash doesn't have a key, it's Tao who does. Otherwise, that will be talk to tag for Ash too. Don't remember where Tao found his key, but I'm gonna assume that it was on Green Path, so Ash probably won't be getting it soon. Unless, I think, no, she'll probably check Storms first. I was gonna say yeah, she's pretty much out of checks, but I will assume Storms comes first before Green Path.
She also could follow to False Knight. It's not a given that Dao is there right now, but it looks like she's headed back towards Fungal.
Yeah, I guess she's just getting the lore tablets that Dao decided not to. Makes sense to go for Fungal. This could be a race if Dao warps to like Ether after, but I don't really see him doing that, taking into account that he's booted off this much. Hidden
And
Station
Hidden
Stack.
Station Stag might be something worth following.
Yeah. I should check like Ether too, which was just a bunch of relics, and an egg if I recall correctly. I mean, well, no egg. I lied. And now we'll simply be doing the crossroads run around. I wonder if he checks grabs. At the very least, he'll check their mouth for sure, because he freed Sly. And yeah, grabs too. So he'll get to see that dive and the trampas and stuff. It looks like Ash is also not going for the lore tablets. She's going left instead for more checks.
So this is going to get her the simple key, because I'm pretty sure that was this. And King's Brand at Sporgs, assuming she goes all the way to Queen's Station. So it could be an early Abyss Seed. We've seen most of the pieces we need for it.
I dislike this sentence. And yeah, the simple key was indeed this. Yeah, pretty much just doing checks that we've already seen from either runner. I wonder if Ash's next play is to talk to Tag then. It's not that hard to think of, but at the same time, I don't know. I didn't know you could get to Tag to without vertical until I tried it myself, basically. Because that's really something that comes up often in randos, so... I wonder if she will think of it, or if she'll decide to simply keep doing checks like both runners are deciding to do.
Does Ash have logical right side that I'm forgetting about? Is there a dash-only Shade Skip with no air stall? Like, to get to right side?
No. No, but she has City Storm Stag at the shop. And that gets you the...
Oh, to get to Waterways, yeah.
So while she's still like...
City Storms.
Yeah, I like this play for now. Especially if he ends up talking to Tag, but even without it, it's a lot of checks. And the storms here. And with Ash, you even get the simple key logic. Without having to do the annoying pogo. You also get to talk to Lime, but I don't think there was anything especially relevant at shops. Well, I guess he hasn't checked Hidden Station yet, so I could consider that a shop, but not really.
Yeah, your big geosinks are mostly done, unless there's something at the basin fountain. But given that we've already seen Lantern, Kingsbrand, and Trampass, there's probably not something at Fountain that you desperately need.
Yeah, at most I could say like, oh, Bluff or Dow, yeah. Storm's paying off. That's immediately a lot of access. Like, you can suddenly get Overgrown Mount, for example. Southern Deepness, but it's really far. Most Profit is really quick. It's easier lower tablets, Mantis Village. It's really just a lot of things only. And most of them are kinda quick.
Looks like Dow might be headed for lore tablets.
I gotta say that's the one I would like to see last, but it says that both Most Prophet and Overgrown Mound are kind of in the same area-ish. So you can get them both quicker than going out of your way for lower tablets, which still makes sense to go for, obviously, but... And I don't expect him to have any trouble getting all of them, because Ash isn't anywhere near that claw, but yeah.
Yeah, Ash chose to buy the goal instead of the stag, and sometimes that trade-off just works against your favor.
Yeah. She has a lot of EO, so she could still buy the stack, but she has to remember that it exists, and honestly that's a hard thing.
Yeah, items disappear from shops all the time in these races. We've had a couple where a goal was sitting right there, and it didn't get picked up for upwards of half an hour.
I love Hero Racer versus Mikli. Such a good match.
Also worth noting, while we're on the subject of Geo, that both runners have Tram Pass, which is enough since they've also ridden a stag to get 6 map pins from a Zelda. Dow is definitely too broke to do it. Ash might have it.
Dude, you're so smart. Actually so smart. I didn't think of that. That actually changes the goal so much. Anyway, yeah, Ash will be checking Hidden Station. I wonder... She doesn't have Claw, never mind. I was gonna say I wonder if she will climb out, but she literally cannot. So I guess she can't really do much here in Hidden Station. I hope Tao doesn't do Mantis Lord's... Oh, Cyclone for him. Yeah, that makes the most profit stuff in easier. Like you
And
can do
Ash is backing up to the right stag. So hopefully she'll be not too far behind to Claw.
Now the release opening the Lords. He also didn't mark the Lord tablet, even though I'm pretty sure he read it. I know he read the one outside Mantis Village, and I think he read this one too. Looks like he's going for the Lords first, though.
I don't think he did read the interior one. He may just be uninformed about its location.
IGN moment. He is standing still, so he might just be googling. IGN moment. Meanwhile, Ash about to get your claw. So this is why you go for Overgrown Mound first.
Yes, rushing lore tablets that you don't know the location of is a surefire way to lose time.
But yeah, Ash goes to Storms and immediately checking the claw location, so this is only a race for the goals. She does not... wait, she does have the Queen Station stack, right? Taking them out yet?
Yes, she definitely benched there because that's how she got enough Geo to afford the last round of purchases.
And she's just gonna be tempted to go for the lower tablets because Tao is... Well, he googled them and it's now going up, so... She might just get the other two. Or she will... come back to storerooms.
This could be Talk to Tuck, maybe, along with selling to Lem.
Yeah. It says that she didn't go for that, yes, so it's a bit weird to not see her immediately take advantage of it, but I guess it's still a goal.
I mean, I don't know the exact state of her relics right now, but there is some value in talk to Tuck, sell to Lem on your way, and then go back and immediately get map pins, maybe? That seems like at least a plausible route, but as I say that, commentators curse it, and she warps to Leggy.
That red Lord Tablet is looking really hard to board. There he goes. And yeah, it looks like he will not be doing... Oh, and Ash warps out again. Was probably going for just Lord Tablets too. And then random check for Tao. I didn't realize that.
Gonna flip the lead.
Please go to Overgrown Mount. It's 2 goals pretty much. Like you get Overgrown Mount and Moss Prophet. They are so close together.
Dao seeing Hera at Hidden Station. It is worth noting we've seen 2 Dreamers so far, and interact with Mr. Mushroom is a goal.
Yeah, it looks like Ash is just preferring tag here and the map pins like you said, I guess. While Dao is just warping around, kinda lost as to what he wants to do. Looks like he's going right side with the Infection Pogo. So yeah, no most profits today, but or just with the 90% shade skip.
It's faster to Infection Pogo if you have it, right?
I'm really not sure, because the Vengefly is... Well, I don't want to call it slow, but he does take his time, because he's really far.
That's fair.
So I'm really not sure either way, because dying also takes a lot of time. Either way, Ash presumably going for Most Profit here. She's on the right side. Yeah, going down. And I assume after that she'll do Overgrown Mount and we'll be clear of these quick left side goals. Trying to think about the next goals though, I really don't know what the play is other than just checks.
Yeah,
Because
and if you're
once it's
down,
done-
do you go to Resting Grounds here? I mean, he is, but what do you think of that play? Because Dream Nail cutscene is still a fair bit of time with any % equipment.
I don't know honestly, I'm one of the few people who doesn't mind the Dreammill cutscene. Because it's otherwise just isolated and it usually ends up being worse, especially because of it letting you check essence really easily. But at the same time, I guess there are still goals that he could be rushing, like Tuck right now, for example. He has storerooms, it's really quick. Or even the map pins. Oh, Dash Massive Rush, so we're
But-
even on the random goals.
Both a goal and a important speed buff.
Yeah, that's ironically really big to get this early. Especially because Tao won't be checking that anytime soon. I honestly wonder if Deepness is the best area right now. It's a lot of checks and they're so in the way. And it's also an area your opponent probably won't contest. It will also get you progress towards the Garpit go entry, even though that's not really too relevant.
Ash gonna cheekily approach Moss Prophet to sneak in a bow without aggroing the other enemies.
Yeah, looks like Dao is gonna get his Shade Cloak here. He has King's Run actually, so that's potential serial entry if he wants to. It's a bit annoying to do the sibling climb without wings, but with Dash it's definitely doable. You do have to pogo a couple times though, and it's also not in logic, because it might be, I'm not sure. Claw Dash might be in logic, but I'm not sure. I asked Homosity about this literally this week, and I've already forgotten. Looks like
Yeah,
now
and-
it's actually coming for Overgrown Mount now, but it's too little too late.
Yes, this is gonna be a quick snipe by Ash, and with it, it will remove just about all of the early game goals. Crystal Heart below Stone Sanctuary, though.
Honestly, that's making up his better and better. And no, yeah, Ash will definitely lock Tao here. I was gonna say that Tao doesn't have to check the autopilot seal anymore, so he might have a chance, but not really apparently. especially with that Dash Master equipped.
Yeah, even with the Crystal Dash, not quite going to be it for Dao, and he's just going to warp away immediately.
Looks like he's not doing talk though still, so I will assume Ash will get that because she was going for it before she actually detoured for the claw goals. So yeah, we'll probably see Dao check in City, while I wonder where Ash will go.
Ash could still try to rush Tuck from left side, maybe, because Dao has a fair few checks to make on his way down on the right.
Yeah,
He does have the C-dash advantage, though, so it's hard
I
to
would
say.
say Water Wish is definitely quicker from Storms though, and no longer an advantage apparently. I was gonna say Dash Master is also really quick, but I guess getting C Dash is also quick.
You love it when the duplicate is right next to the vanilla, or when two dupes are right next to each other.
Dude, we've seen runners get different dashes and different crystal dashes so far.
Sometimes the rando seed is kind to you. Not often, but sometimes.
Sometimes. And yeah, Ash coming over to a toll bench, so she'll presumably be talking to Tuck. I honestly wonder if she'll buy the muffins. I know I personally wouldn't have thought of it, because I've always thought of that as a dream goal, but she does have them available to her, and she might just be smarter than me.
She also did go broke recently with, I don't remember what she recently spent her money on, but they're both in a place where they can't actually afford all the map pins, although selling to Lem will probably even that out.
Yeah, coming over to Waterways, I will assume she's also Lem. Does Ash have King's Run? She does, right? Yeah. So she also has access to the Void Tendrils Journal entry, even though she did not get the journal yet, but that's not that hard to get, you know? And Race for Dao, making the display even stronger, while Ash gets the range of spread.
So, a lot of spells suddenly showing up.
Honestly, you can check everything in Abyss aside from Rest Place. It's not a bad play. Especially with Hidden Station Stag. Like, it gets you a goal on like 5 checks, I think.
So Dao finishing his check circuit while Ash quickly marks off Talk to Tuck.
I honestly wonder at what point you start getting grabs for the dive. Because like the dive will get you both Lord Chalice and Soul Sanctum and Command Garbage in your entries.
And Fluke Hermit.
Like 20 grabs, oh, Fluke Hermit, yeah. Like 20 grabs is a big number, and there's another 2 copies. So I don't know at what point you're like, okay, I don't want to do more checks, I want to start getting the grabs for the guaranteed one.
Yeah, especially right now when there aren't a lot of goals that are immediately accessible to you on the board, or at least not goals that are sanely accessible to you on the board. Ash could technically unskip, I believe, with what she's got right now to check Shape of On. But it seems like a Grubs play. Oh, you do need wings for that?
Unless you're 56. Well, no, that is Sharp Shadow actually, never mind.
Point being, when you don't have a lot of goals to immediately rush, is there some consideration to going for grubs? Dao seeing Shopkeeper's Key, but unable to afford it.
Looks like he'll be taking a trip to Lam. He comes back to City, and so quick after seeing something with money, I wouldn't discard it.
Yeah, especially
being very careful about her. Water is clear here.
Especially Talk to Tuck being a goal that, like, if you mark it off, you probably still have most to all of Waterways to check. Like, because as soon as you enter Waterways, Talk to Tuck is your first stop. So Dao probably has a pretty good idea of what Ash is up to right now.
She missed the bow once, but she has all the buffers left. I guess so. This jump's a bit tricky. There we go. Yeah, that will sell to Lamb. This makes the map pins available to him too, if he wants to. Like, it wouldn't be a bad play to buy the shopkeeper's key and then use that thermos trip to both get the map pins and slime.
Oh, but it looks like Ash has thought of it.
Though, yeah.
Bapanada.
All right, counting time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I wonder if Dal thinks he can do the lore tablets. Because he didn't know the Mantis Village lore tablets, and he's in Sanctum.
That is potentially dangerous.
Yeah, it's actually really dangerous for Dal. Because he will have to do Sanctum twice. Like, it still checks, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if he's coming here, yeah, I assume he's coming here for the goal. He also only has 5 grubs, so it's not like he's anywhere close to that dive right now.
Yeah, shy of getting really lucky with a dive at like Spell Twister. I don't know that I agree with this play.
Hey, this will still happen, but yeah. He's
It's even worse if he dies.
Don't hit the lever. Thank you.
Oh!
Sanctum in a nutshell.
Daily reminder that Sanctum is the worst area in this game.
But yeah, I would really like to see a base from the runner, especially from Dao because he has raids. But even from Ash because it still gets scared 4 checks on the goal. Otherwise, Deepness is great because of the amount of crops it has and the rescue shot in Deepness.
Yeah, but right now Dao basically has to go back to his Shade because he just sold all to Lem and has like 3,000 Geo sitting in it and knows Shopkeeper's Key is somewhere, so...
Yeah. Mostly because of the Shopkeeper's Key, otherwise it doesn't really matter, but when you know you have Shopkeepers and you haven't checked it yet, it kinda hurts.
Meanwhile, Ash finding the duplicate Crystal Heart.
I wonder what she's here for. Like, I don't know if she's just doing checks or if she actually has some kind of plan right now, because she knows that Dao has been here, presumably, with that 2 Shade Gates early on. Dao really struggling here. This is just any percent loadout. I'm kind of surprised that he's struggling. I know he has like a 36, so he's definitely won the game.
Takes a second death. That's all that Geo.
Extremely unfortunate, honestly. He's definitely gonna be kicking himself over that one. And now she's at 7 grubs, and looks like... I don't know if she's getting the urinal or just the grubs. Yeah, it looks like she's getting the urinal.
This could be segueing to the Abyss play.
Yeah, I will assume so. Just a reminder that getting the urinal lasts faster because of the animation taking 4 million years. Yeah, it looks like she dashes out rather than actually warping, so she's definitely thinking of getting those grabs for the dive, I will assume. Which will let her 3 goals, like we've said, so it's definitely not a bad play.
That said, she still has a pretty hefty ways to go before getting 20.
Yeah, she's a state. It looks like she'll come to... she's coming to Abyss presumably immediately like that. I would have liked to see the life float because she has quick access to both the King's Pass one and the Green Path one. But I guess it's fine. Also, she's not going down. She's checking the fountain at the very least. Can you do that?
I don't think you can.
That would be cool if you could, but she gives up on it, so...
Another
Another-
fireball. Dao, meanwhile, trekking back through Soul Sanctum.
I wonder if she's just doing the deepness play that I talked about earlier, or if she just wants to bench here with this Strum. At this point, I definitely like Abuse more than deepness, but looks like she's going for deepness actually.
I mean, when you have a Shade Cloak in the first half hour of the game, the urge to check Sharp Shadow is very strong.
Yeah, that's true. Like, deepness is definitely a good play with the amount of grabs you can get on the way and also rescue side deepness. It's also, like I said, a place that you pretty much know your opponent won't come to because people usually try to avoid deepness a lot.
Can confirm, I try to avoid Deep Nest as much as possible.
Hey,
Dao, meanwhile.
I learned the hard parts, like the hard QG escape simply because I didn't want to do deepness. Truly good times.
Meanwhile, Dao, having only found Wayward Compass so far, is gonna fight Soul Master.
I'm very disappointed about the Lord Outlet. Like, at this point you have to assume he's doing this for the goal, which he unfortunately will not be able to get. Yeah, it looks like Ash is also just gonna be clearing deepness instead of simply rushing for the goals. Or they go and go. A simple key for Gal might be good for him. He just Pleasure House's 2 checks that Ash won't be checking anytime soon, but I don't know if it's good enough. This time Village might be good enough though.
Yeah, taken together, that's,
No.
what, 6 checks that Ash can't do?
Yeah.
And we've seen Lantern, and Ash is not getting Lantern for a while. Although if she's grinding for Dive, it's only, what, one or two more grubs to get Lantern? So maybe.
I think Lantern was 21.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, Mana Wings for money. I don't think I really got to do anything in this world though, which is unfortunate. You know what will get you something? 3000 Gia for Shade Soul will get you Trolluvas.
It will, but also with complete either ending of Cloth on the board. Ooh. Like, you can pick up 2 goals pretty free by just doing Trader Lord.
Yeah, that's true. I guess after this I should be at 8, and then if she does the like either Hunter's Urinal goal that she got the Urinal for, will be 9. So after that she can definitely start considering that. Also she's been getting the grabs. Not
Yeah,
too
up to-
constant, though.
Up to 8 now, which is pretty standard, I think, for about this long into a race. Like, she's not tunneling grubs, but she's picking up the easy ones.
Yeah. I could expect her to start tunneling them once like Dive is her pathway to victory, but for now it makes sense to just still hope for a random check.
Dao, meanwhile, back to selling to Lem.
800. I don't know what that's gonna get. Oh, it's gonna get you the shopkeeper's key. Not what she wants though, apparently, unless he just didn't get the hidden station bench, which happens to me often, so. No, it's not even hidden station, right? It's
It was at Aura,
yeah.
but he's getting wings instead, which, like, fair, I guess. It's more vertical, but like you said, there's not really a whole lot of goals on the board that are like, you should have wings to do this. It's just a couple extra quick checks.
Yeah, Wings is just gonna get you like more mobility. Like it's there and it's nice to have, so you may as well. Well, he might downscap, taking into account that he's coming over here.
Well, Ash takes another unfortunate death in Deep Nest.
I'm honestly kind of just tunneling Dao's screen because I feel like he's heavily considering the unskip, which is not that bad honestly, but he has no way to refill soul forever. He doesn't have King Soul or a Dream Nail to Dream Nail the Moss Knight. So he does have like not really a limited amount of tap times because he could just enter the Sanctuary and leave it to refill the health, but it's definitely more annoying.
Shaman Stone, a nice pickup on the way.
Honestly, this and then making the Queen's Guardians play will put Dao kind of back into it. Looks like he gives up on this though, unfortunately.
Oh, and Ash dying to her own shade.
That feels really bad.
People just dropping their Gia left and right in this mid game.
I mean, at least it's not that important anymore, but it does feel very bad.
And Ash going right back. It's fair. Zoten Deep Nest is right there, but it still sucks to have to go through this room 3 times.
Yeah, it really does. And yeah, it looks like Dao is going for the Queen's Guardians play rather than just the unskip. He did kill the Aluba, so this will get him 2 Alubas and then Cloth.
The trade-off being like 2 goals is pretty paramount, especially when you're behind 7-3, with the trade-off being that Queen's Gardens is a very sparse area in terms of checks. Obviously right now, Ash is also in a very sparse area in terms of checks, but when you have no idea where your opponent is, it's one of those trade-offs you want to be aware of.
Well, Deepness is not that scarce. Well, I mean, when you die 3 times or 2 times, it is kinda scarce. Otherwise, you're still getting like, what, 4 or 5 checks and a fair amount of grabs, which is especially relevant here. And that's not counting Dark Deepness, which, well, she doesn't have Wings, so it does kinda suck. And I also don't know how confident she is, and yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was referring to specifically this topmost part of Deep Nest where it's just like Tram Pass and Zote Relic.
Makes sense.
But Ash does arrive safely at the topmost bench and then the Zote Arena, so that's another pretty free goal for her at this point.
At the very least, Dao should be getting this 2 Queen's Guardians goals, though. I would assume that Ash also gets like Void Tendrils for free, though. I'm surprised Dao hasn't gotten having Wings. Like that's really quick, honestly, but I guess it's too. It's just this is 2 goals, yes, but it's way slower because he doesn't have the Shade Soul either, so the arena is gonna suck a lot.
Yeah, I am not a fan of that arena.
He has Shaman at least, so the hitbox is big enough, but it still kind of really sucks. And after that, he also has to do Traitor Road with like nothing, which in this patch is scary.
Dao gonna wisely take the safety bench. Getting Void Tendrils requires, at a bare minimum, I think, Claw, Dash, and that's it. You need Shade Cloak?
Shade Cloak and Air Vertical, yeah.
And obviously Brand to get into the Abyss.
Yeah. You can do it with Wings from the Shade Cloak platforms, so you don't really need Claw, you just need the Air Vertical on Shade Cloak and Abyss Access. Well, and the Hunter's Journal, I guess, so you can get it afterwards.
So Dao actually putting in work on this arena that's widely considered probably the worst arena in the game, just in terms of raw difficulty and endurance.
What is Sash doing? Oh, she's going back to basin. Okay.
Could be the Abyss play at this point. There's no real reason to put it off any further.
She has hidden station, but this isn't bad either.
But
Yeah,
Ash
that would
detouring
be
for the
good.
soul bench?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, she has no money though. It's no longer fine. Oh, going for the simple key though, that is kind of. Is she just getting the Geo?
That would have
No.
been the craziest play.
That could actually have been so big rain.
If only it gave a little bit more geo.
Yeah. And yeah, that would definitely going for the Queen's Garden Skulls here at this point.
Also taking this lull to address chat, the Whorp Arena is hard, but you almost never have to do it unless you're on Super Junk Bit. Also, it's only meme hard. It is the tiltiest arena, though.
It definitely is. They just can't get out of hand so quickly. But if you take your time, it's doable. It's way weird to see Ash test this simple key check so hard at this point when they already have vertical, but
It is sort of a meme that if you get Crystal Ash, you check base and simple key. But when you, all of, like, even Ash, who doesn't have wings, has seen a wings at Essence, so, like, it was sort of a vain hope for it to be something.
yeah. And yeah, that was starting the Torturos fight with 4 health here, so he can afford to take a single hit, because boss does 2 damage usually, some attacks do 1 for some reason, but we don't talk about that. Looks like he's doing pretty well so far, but it's really easy to make a mistake and then for it to spiral. Like that, for example, and now he's a bit scared.
Yeah, Trader Lord is one of the hugest, like, momentum boss fights in this game, in my opinion, where either you fall into a rhythm and you're really good at it, or that rhythm breaks and it's just so hard to come back.
That was the bossiest heal I've seen in a while.
Especially when Trader Lord just decides to knee you in the face.
Yeah. Why does he do that though? Like, stop walking into me, please. Yeah,
Alright, he does it.
Meanwhile, Ash gonna be doing the claw dash climb. Ooh, takes a hit. Her stream is dropping frames for me, which is kind of bad in the situation, but looks like she's got it down.
Also losing her a little bit, but it's coming up. Oh, it's tight, but she's in.
Fine.
Alright, she gets the lighthouse. While Dao is going to mark off 2 different Alubas.
Yeah, and has to still to talk to Clothing Basin for that goal, but she'll be fine. Unless he just puts it off for too long, which I could see happening because he has done that already.
I mean, if you're Ash and you see Dao mark 2 different Alubas, I highly doubt one of your impulses is going to be to go after Trader Lord.
You know, I doubt it too, but anything will happen, man. If that puts itself for like 10 minutes, then at that point you kind of have to assume. White Dragon for Dao, but
We've seen another one of those at the Dirtmouth Stag, so that means that Birthplace has been in Logic for a while.
have we? Ash checked Derma's stack and she doesn't have one.
Oh, I thought...
Dao has a single one right now.
Was that a previous race? I may be confusing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think it might have been an egg on this race, but not 100% sure honestly, I couldn't tell you. Either way,
Yeah,
I wonder if this is the point where Ash starts getting graphs or like actually focusing graphs for the dive. Yeah, she takes the tracker. At this point, with dive getting her 3 goals, that's 12. And 12 is a big number.
Yeah, and this is not a board you want to get complacent on. Dao finding Ismas, but
Yeah, that's
Ash,
pretty
I'm pretty sure, is one of our runners who's gone on record to being relatively inexperienced with Path of Pain, and so the threat of that tiebreaker looms large.
They both get the same Ismas. So it's like the thing here is that Check Shape of Hand is a really high value gold right now because of it being 9 to 4. It's pretty much the last goal that your runner has really easy access to. After that, you have to either get random checks or it's just not free to get, basically. Like 10 life loss, for example, is technically doable, but you don't really want to be rushing for that.
Yeah, it's not fun to do when you don't have, like, Jonies.
How many goals does Dive get you, actually? You have Fluke Hermit, Radiant Boss, Lord Tablets, and I think there was another thing. Oh, there's an
Gum and Garpede.
Oh, Gum Garpede. So yeah, a Dive gets you 4 goals. I didn't realize that Radiant Boss was in there, even though you technically still need Dream Nail, so I guess it's kind of a moot point because you will do Ravek before. Either way, I really would like to see Tao get this and immediately go for Shape of Hand. He has the bench, it's quick, and it's kind of really high value, like I said.
Yeah, especially when you're behind. If you see something like Isma's in a place that you know the other runner has access to.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. Ash also going for it, but will get locked out. I think he's your closest bench.
Yeah, Ash definitely never fought Hornet. So a good snipe from Dao to keep him in the race. It would be really unfortunate if this was Dive.
Yeah. He's still definitely on the back foot, especially because Ash has 3 dives, 3 grabs over him. But if this is Dive, then that definitely miss out. Dreamer will also be nice, honestly. Oh, Dream Nail.
Dream Nail is pretty big too.
Yeah. So that gets him Ravek if he wants to. It's also technically progress towards Radiant Boss and Path of Pain, but I doubt this goes to Path of Pain, honestly. I mean, it could happen.
Dao would need a little bit of luck in random checks. And for Ash not to find Dive.
There's the Otherwise Fragment. What is this play? Not that I'm against it, I just want to know what exactly Dao has in mind.
Is this
He has this
Galleon
ability stack, as far as I
for
know.
200 essence? I don't know.
I don't know if you do Galleon from here. Kind of really annoying to do Galleon from there. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird thing. It looks like Ash is going to pick up her Wraiths.
Yeah. Worth noting that Abyss still largely unchecked, because I don't think Ash did Life Load Core, and I don't think she checked Shriek either. And definitely not worst place, excuse me.
Dao looking like he's going to do Fungal Core?
Yeah, gets him into the Galleon that he was presumably trying for earlier, like you said. And it's also just a nice 3 checks here. With the egg, the mask, and then Super Secret Seal.
Meanwhile, Ash is going to repeat the arena that we've already seen.
I feel like there was something here, but I don't know if that was last race.
I think there was C-Dash in the prior race, but both of our C-Dashes were in Green Path this race.
Ash dropping a fair amount of frames again, but she'll be fine. Well, she's at 1 health as I see.
Yeah, also having a rough time with the arena.
Yeah, Dao and Deepness, presumably going for the Galleon play like you said. Which... I'm not... I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell deepness stuff when you need grabs, because the deepness grabs are in really nice spots. And if he's confident with that deepness, then it's even harder. But otherwise, I feel like Gorp, Sherrock will be quicker.
Yeah, especially when you know. I mean, the super secret seal is a nice pickup, but given that Ash has marked Zote and Deep Nest, you know your opponent has been here. So, like, there isn't a huge amount of value in repeating these checks.
Yeah, it looks like he's piecing out. Well,
You
I
do
say
need
that.
dive for Fluke Hermit.
Yeah. I say that he's going into it again with the Trump.
Right. So
Yeah,
Ash headed into Kingdom's Edge. If she gets to and picks up Shopkeeper's Key before Dao does, especially if Dive is behind it, that's going to be a huge, unfortunate break in her favor.
You know what's weird? Dao did everything in cloth except their mouth, which is just one word. Like, I guess it's in no rush, like you said, but it's still kind of weird that he will do the hard parts and then not actually get the goal. But it looks like both runners are just completely in check mode. Actually ignoring the Kingdom's Edge grab. Even so, 100% in it.
Yep, and it looks like Ash is headed down before heading up towards Kahlo, so she is going to at least find this Shopkeeper's Key.
She doesn't have the money right now, but I'm not. Shopkeeper's Key is right on the edge of things, so I'm not sure if you prioritize LM for it. I could see either way.
Yeah, I mean, because especially if you don't have dive and you can't check anything else back here, you're warping out after seeing Shopkeeper's Key anyway, so it may be worth it to...
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like she'll decide Sword. And gets LM trip immediately.
Down, meanwhile, clearing out some Deep Nest grubs.
I really hope Dao is comfortable with Dark Dimness if he's going this far. Because otherwise doing this whole ordeal, just you do one Dream Warrior instead of two is not really something I'd consider worth.
Dao
She
almost
has
dying in the
defenders.
same spot Ash did.
She has Defender's Crest on. Oh no.
Oh. For those of you unfamiliar with Rando, there is a visual bug, or a bug with charms that summon effects like pets, like Grimchild, and like Defender's Crest, or sometimes they just don't continue to produce their visual effects or spawns after a room transition. Usually that comes up because it can soft lock your game at Grimchild, but sometimes if you equip Defender's Crest and then the game doesn't remind you that you have Defender's Crest equipped, it can cause that.
Yeah, Live is stealthy if you have Defender's Crest on, and that's pretty funny, honestly. Looks like Dao is going to Crystal Peaks, which is another grab dance area, so I can say it. But I'm really not sure what he did the start of Dimness for if he's not even gonna get the Galleon, because that will be a goal, like it's a static goal, basically.
All right, and Moments of Truth, it is a Unbreakable Strength, which is not the worst charm to find at Shopkey, but it is not a dive, so the hunt continues.
Yeah, kind of honestly really surprised that Tao, like, he's behind, he knows he's behind, and he's not getting Revek on lockdown, even though there's 4 Dream Nails in play.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, Dive was at 20 grubs and Lantern was at 21. So if they're going for grubs at this point, it's for those much later goals.
Yeah, at this point of the game, though, I can definitely see like the grab hunt being the main thing at getting you that many goals. Like we said, Fluke Hermit, Radiant Boss, Goman Garpil, Prowess towards Descending Dark, and Soul Sanctum Lord Tablets are all unlocked by dive. Well, Radiant Boss technically dive and Dream Nail, but before wasting a Dream Nail. Like, Dao could pretty much win off the dive if he gets it first.
Yeah, it is much evener than it looks if Dao finds dive with enough space to like start knocking off goals before Ash finds it.
Yeah, or if he focuses the grabs more than Ash, and he's in Crystal Peaks, which is, it has 7 grabs by itself, 6 that he can reach because he doesn't have dive. Also worth noting, all of these checks that Dao is doing, sorry, are new to us because this is the first time we see peaks. He's just given a fair amount of things that are slow here, but it's still getting a lot of checks in it.
Yeah, and with Lantern confirmed at a high grub count as well, and dive nowhere to be seen, the reverse way in through the elevator is the only way to get it. So if Ash doesn't think about that as a means of entering peaks, then she's not going to find anything that Dao picks up in here for a while.
She also just doesn't have a way to do it right now without wings.
That is true.
Like,
She's only seeing wings at Essence.
Yeah. I don't know if she has this time Blitz stack. I don't remember where that was at all. I kind of want to say that it was in Sanctum, but that sounds kind of far off.
No, I think it might have been. I think it might have been the last check that Dao could get in Sanctum. If that ends up being a game-deciding thing, that's so unfortunate for Ash.
That'll be funny, honestly. Dao not knowing about the Lord Talent being a game design thing. She's gonna be focusing grabs hard now, apparently, though. Taking into account this seems to be a green path, this is simply for the grabs. So it's kind of a race for that. Because like I said, Peaks is also dense with grabs, but so is green path.
Uh, 1221 levers fixed, or a more recent QOL patch, I think, fixed some of the grubs so that you can hit them through the floor again, yes.
Yeah. It was the very last patch that did that. And yeah, grabs kind of even out at 12, 11. Now struggling to get this bench, but he'll get it. Looks like he's also gonna be getting the entrance tag. I wonder, don't get deep focus. Okay.
He heard
the
you.
grab is kinda quick, but deep focus is definitely not. Especially with being able to hit them through the floor, you can only do, like, you can do half the spike gauntlet and then has a respawn for the grab, but deep focus definitely doesn't work like that.
Just a steal, though. Meanwhile, Ash checking Shio, which is also new to us.
Pigs, well, what we've seen of Pigs was kind of a bust. There's still a lot of things unchecked here, like Crown or Deep Focus or CG2 or anything dive locked, but we can get right now without wasting too much time, kind of a bust. I wonder if this is grabs from Dao too. I kinda really hope it is. He seems to have been focusing that with the Pigs play.
Yep, he's turned right for the grub. I mean, there's nothing else he could check here besides progression egg if he didn't get it already. But
I think the quickest grabs he can get is on the city. He has like every city bench. Oh!
oh,
Yeah,
that is probably the game right there.
That gets her. She doesn't have the Dream Mill, so it doesn't get her Radiant Boss, but that gets her the Fluke Hermit, the Sunning Dark with the dive she was working towards, Soul Sanctum tablets, and Goma and Arpid, obviously, which she was going for and then turned back. Oh, Soul. Appears to not be informed about the totem? Yeah. There is a totem on the room before the Arpid. You can get if I have no soul because I've come here. Dude, what if Dao modlocks his way to the... Oh! That's the third dreamer, right?
We have seen 2 other Dreamers, yes, because Hera was at Hidden Station Stag, and the duplicate Dreamer was at City Storeroom Stag.
At this point, it's a bit too late, but if Dao does manage to go to Ancestral Mount right now and get that, which he's on the area and he's aware that Ash has a dive, he might get it. Looks like he's just rechecking rubs though to see the amount that the dive was at, so. Or to get Jonas for 10 life blood. That should give it away actually, that not where dive is, but that Ash found a random dive. Have we seen life blood hard? Or was it on ours?
I think we saw Unbreakable, yeah.
That's what he was looking for. I feel like we might have seen life blood hard too, but not sure. Tao doesn't have it, and he's the guy who I thought had it, so.
That is in fact 10.
So 10 to 7, soon to be 11 to 7. Dao really needs to get the dive like right now and Lockout out of something. Instead he'll be getting Mr. Mushroom though. Which I mean it's another goal, but Ash just wins with that dive, so he really needs to lock her out. Then again, if he's kinda like, if he's accepted the loss, getting points for the standings isn't a bad play. It's just that I still feel like he has 14 rubs. I think he might be able to get another 6, which relative is, and then get at least 1 lockout, but he might not think that's true.
Ash also in a fairly precarious position. Okay, I saw stopping to heal in that awful, awful room and got concerned, but it looks like she's through.
Yeah, 10 to 8. I think anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I 10 to 8, and that also has access to Revek, so it will be 10 to 9 if he chooses to do that. But then again, like I said, Ash can just win right now, so.
Still, for the 8-3 lead we saw early, Dao has done an impressive job of pulling this back. He just really needs to find dive like in the next minute or so in order to keep himself in the game. Dive was at Ancestral Mound, the Soul Catcher check.
It's easy to forget that it exists, unfortunately. He'll go to Eastern Village instead. I mean, he's at 14 grabs and Life's at 20, right? Like I said, he could still get the grabs and get at least 1 lockout, but it's looking more unlikely by the second. There is a grab here, and depending on how confident he is in Dark Demons, he could get another quick one above Weaver's then. That will be 16. I don't think he's gotten the no-skill 1 year, which is also quick, so that will be 17. But after that, you kind of have to start thinking of which grabs you get. I guess Spire is quick. I don't think he's gotten the guarded grab in City either. So that will be 19. I don't know where you got the last one though.
Yeah, it's... He also, if he's going on that play, he needs to focus it now.
Yeah, he needs to go like now.
And like checking all of Beast Ends suggests to me that he's just hoping to find a random dive.
Which I mean is respectable in a way, but if he thinks he doesn't have time. Which he might honestly not have time, but... And yeah, she's still getting grabs, which makes sense because she's at 17, and 20 will get her a goal in the form of Tennis and Dark. Also getting Kinsu. Not that Abyss is relevant anymore. Oh wait, is she 13? Or...
Yeah, I think she was at 12 before,
Oh, I thought she
not
got
17.
I got weighted by the resolution.
So yeah, Ash gonna do Fluke Hermit, which makes sense. It's the next fastest thing.
Yeah. She doesn't have a way to go home, so she'll have to come back for Radiant Boss, but that's not bad, especially if you open the shortcut.
Dao, meanwhile, heading to Shio, where we unfortunately already know there's nothing there.
I honestly don't even know if you come back for Radiant Boss. 11, Fluke Hermit will be 12, and then perhaps wins the game. Or just a random Dream Nail for Relic, since Dao still hasn't done that. I really wonder where Dao goes next. I'm trying really hard to hold into hope here, but
Yeah, at this point, he was in Crossroads when Ash marked Gom Garpy. That was probably his biggest opportunity to find that dive that we know about. So if he's not tunneling grubs right now, I think he's just going to relatively check dense places and hoping for the best.
I just really don't know what those places are right now because Deepness is downish, near runner seems comfortable with the dark part. Crystal Peaks is also downish. Like the things that are left need dive pretty much. I guess fuck Canyon honestly. It has 2 quick checks from Legiter. Other than that, I guess Sapper, Kingdom Sedge. Kingdom Sedge without dive also kinda sucks, but at this point, there really aren't that many more areas. Mantis
Yeah.
Lord, yes.
Yeah, when your best options in terms of check density are like Mantis Lords or Watcher Knights, you know you're on the back foot. Ash talking to the Fluke Hermit to bring herself to 12 goals.
It's weird, like, there's a lot of places left to check, but they are like dive locked pretty much all of them. So it's annoying. And that will be full clear in Abyss, so he still has a chance for something to be here, but at this point, I'm not sure it's like a good enough chance, I will say.
Yeah, Ash just needs 7 grubs, 200 essence, a dream nail, or a random check for Glowing Moon Weaver Song. Like, there are so many outs she has to win the game, and Dow needs most to all of them.
Yeah, that needs to get every goal right now, and I'm trying to think, like, if he gets a dive here, he has 15 reps, he could still get Sending Dark. He already has the Dream for Rebek and Brilliant Boss. But, like, Glowing Womb is still a random check, completely random for your runner. And, Path of Pain, do you still need both Dream Nails, both of them? Well, I
Yeah,
guess...
I think we've only seen one dream nail this whole race, so if it comes to Path of Pain, it could be another long wait. It doesn't look like it'll come to it, though.
It really doesn't. If Dao doesn't find, like, the random dive that is left here in Abyss, then it's pretty much over, just on Ash getting rubs. And I don't know how many Abyss checks we haven't seen. I guess these 2 raids and the 2 in worst place. So it's still dense, but not as dense. You know, it will be we haven't seen by 2 rules already.
Yeah, you're sort of really hoping for Dive and Weaver Song in quick succession here. Ash on uncomfortably low health in Fog Canyon, meanwhile.
Oh, another Dream Nail here at Abyss. Not good enough, unfortunately, but at least sorta good.
Yeah, probably a little bit too late to be relevant. I'm also a little concerned about going into Birthplace overcharmed with 5 health, and it's all lifeblood.
You guys, I believe. He'll be fine. Brain Mastery will save him. Dude, this is actually so scary. He's fine. He has warps out of here unless he wants to check the right side, even though he knows that Ash already did.
Whew. That's always scary.
Go to Mound. It's your only out now.
You gotta do the mod log.
You gotcha. Instead, he's probably gonna try to do Revek at this point, but that's kind of like the end for him, I guess. Like in the time he gets the 200 resistance, I assume Ash will manage to get the grubs. I guess Shero and Gorb are quick, but even if, like, assuming that Spirit's Glade was a dive, at that point Ash is too far ahead on the grub game for him to get this in dark. She's already at 16. I'm really getting me more this time.
Yeah, and with the advantage of first dive, she has access to several grubs that Dao does not, so making it even easier.
I remember that the Stagnus was a start, so that's the quickest bench to Gorb. We'll get Soul before Gorb too, that's smart.
Yeah, and Dao has tended to have really nice bosses, so like he'll be able to make it to the Revik check in time, but as Ash begins to head towards Crystal Peak.
Honestly, the Crystal Peak grubs are a bit far from the entrance, so if Revik is dive, and Dao focuses, not even then, I guess.
If Revik
Like,
is
the
dive
quick-
and he makes it to Soul Catcher.
Yeah. At this point, I think he's too far for the grubs. Trying to think, like, the quickest routes for him are probably like a not Storm, sorry. Watcher's Spire, the guarded one city, and that will be 2 at 17. And then I think I already counted this. I really don't know what other 2 he gets. The basing ones aren't terrible. I don't know after that though. Still missing one. That's 1 parry for Dao. 2 parries. The last parry is the hardest one. Changed my mind.
Yeah, no, it's always super rough. Also going for it without any sort of nail length. I'm baby. I make sure to have Mark of Pride.
Can you hit this grab through the floor? I've never tried. It doesn't really come up on anything really. Maybe you can hit it through the gate with Dash Slash. I'm not sure. One parry for Dao. 2. Unfortunate. And Ash doing the entire gauntlet rather than sitting the grab through the floor, which is very new, so we can't really blame her. But it's still nice to get information out there. Yeah, that's 18 for her. The Crushers one will be 19, I assume. And then I wonder what the quickest one after is. I don't know if it's the Mimic one or if it's
The one in the room before Crystal Peak, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. That appears to be 3 for Dao. So he'll mark it.
Yep.
Fortunately, Ash is literally 1 grab off, so. Really not much you can do at this point.
Yeah, it all came down to just the soul catcher check in the end.
I really wonder what the other type was. Like, I wonder if there was a chance he might get it, or if it was some forgotten thing.
And did he actually check Spirit's Glade?
I don't think so, no.
Because if it was that or Black Egg, that's really unfortunate.
He's gonna be doing Massimo's Charger instead for the Brilliant Boss, I will assume. Except, well, he doesn't have to dive yet. And Yash at 20 right now, so. We'll head over to Grandfather and win. Honestly, with the delay we have, we can kinda see unless she's already won. But there we go. John. Oh, never mind. Sion is next to it. It was Lantern. Yeah. Which one was dive?
Any minute now.
There we go. Which one
There we
did
go.
dive?
GG.
Um.
I'm gonna invite the runners.
Oh. Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
GG's.
GG. That was
I really
great.
wonder where the last dive was. Honestly, there was one in Mount dive that you one dive in Mount that you missed.
Yeah.
That's
And
unfortunate.
then
Because I was headed there, and then I saw it get marked. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to do that.
no, not
I-
in Overgrown Mount, in Ancestral Mount.
Yeah, it's Soul Catcher.
Oh. Well, I was never going to check.
I had a feeling. Oh my god.
Yeah, so if people with the spoiler log want to point out where the third dive was and what was in Black Egg and at Spirit's Glade, because those are some checks that we were upset got passed over.
Oh, come on. You can go check Black Egg and Spirit's Glade right now.
Sure, it wouldn't take long.
Yeah, no, that was a really good race. Shout outs to Dow for pulling it pretty far back from the early lead that Ash took.
Yeah, I got sniped on so many things. I gave up 2 shade gates at the beginning. I went right into Crossroads, and that rewarded me because I saw a tram pass at 3 grubs, and it was calling to me. And then I got rewarded with a dash.
Yeah, you both found different first dashes. Dow found one at the autopilot seal around the same time you found the resting grounds one, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
both picked up 2 different crystal hearts as well, but those were like
Oh,
right
yeah.
next to each other.
Yeah, I found both Crystal Hearts at the same time, pretty much.
I honestly kind of wonder how this plays out if Dao gets recording her locations at the start, because you don't have any dream launch right now, right, Ash?
No, I have none. Where were they?
I have 2.
Game Fan and
And a
Abyss.
bit streak.
Shape of
We ain't gonna get either of those, probably.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get either of those. Shape of On was a goal. It was checked, and Abyss Streak. I'd already been to Abyss without wraiths.
Yeah, I really don't think you were getting either of those. So if Dao got the recording for locations, this will be 12 to 10 right now.
Yeah,
And then
and
I
that
guess it
would
will
be
mostly come
completely
down
different
to
because I have no Dream Nail, so I can't do Radiant Boss
Yeah.
and Path of Pain. I don't
I
think
found
either of us
another
found
Dream Nail.
Wings.
He found
Uh,
wings. Well, you found wings at Essence, and then there was
Oh,
another wings at this time below.
Oh yeah, there was Wings at Essence. I forgot about that.
And
And
Distant Village Sag, so they were both
Oh,
known.
and Distant Village. Yeah, I found that. I just never went there because I was rushing grubs at that point.
So yeah, I wonder how that will have played out, honestly. Depends on where Glowing Goomp is, I guess.
I'm so bad at the early goals because I can't keep track of like all the goals on the board, and then I just get sidetracked so much.
Yeah, I try to like take some time before the match actually starts, like read them all and try to mostly plan out what's early on.
Mhm.
Only thing I'm really
alright,
upset
you went
about
black egg.
was
Wow.
I thought about doing the 2 lore tablets in Soul Sanctum, but I
You
forgot
need dive for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to Google the Mantis Village lore tablets, by the way?
I did have to look it up. I couldn't remember where they were.
Did you like Mantis Pogo or did you have Vertical
I had-
by that point?
Both Claw and Dash.
Okay.
His Claw was at
Yeah, it was at the Vessel
Stones.
Fragment Crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Dao.
was slightly
he-
earlier than you.
Yeah, I didn't think like when I found it, I thought you wouldn't have found it yet. I guess I was wrong.
Like I said, I'm bad at like reading the board, so I just do a bunch of checks early and hope it works out.
But yeah,
I
you
think
sniped
also what-
me to Lore Tablets in Mantis Village, and you also sniped me to Shape of Un.
Oh,
But yeah.
that was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you. I was gonna say G.
I'm like, the Shape of Un one was like, you got which one? Bow to Moss Prophet, and I was like, well, he has, Ismas, so, because I didn't think you would. Well,
You
I
don't
guess you
need
could
as much
ask
to get
that.
to Moss Prophet. You can go through the Sportstrom area, which is what I did.
Oh, you can go that way. I never go that way because it seems really bad, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and for
Well,
the
So,
I
I think
beelined
we
it
have
for Shape
like-
of Un the moment I got Ismas, and then it got ticked off.
yeah, you both found Ismas within like 30 seconds of each other, and then
was a
yeah,
thing,
but
it's
you
supposed
you had the Green Path Stag Bench because you went down first.
Mhm.
that actually had the Lake of Unbench from
Oh,
two Alubas,
that
so
even.
yeah, it was never really a contest after that point.
mhm.
And then for Mantis Village lore tablets, I think what it came down to was Ash. I think you like checked Sly first and bought whatever goal was there, and had to come back for the stag later.
Yeah, I bought Dreamwielder first.
and so
which was
Dao
fair.
bought and checked the stag right away, so he had you beat to claw by a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was actually a little surprised that you didn't have the Dream Nail at the Wraiths check, because I don't remember where I got Wraiths, but it was pretty early, I thought.
It wasn't the 80% seal, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it
City.
was any percent journal for Wraiths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to right side for a very long time.
You also didn't do like any of Let's Side Tabis, right? I don't think you did Lifeblood Core either.
Yeah, I didn't do Lifeblood Core because I didn't have Charms and didn't feel like bringing over Cocoon. Yeah, I didn't have Wraiths for Abyss Streak, and I didn't have King Soul, but I have it now. I have King Soul now.
Yeah, so I actually thought you had those, all of those, and I was just like looking for Dive. I was like, where did you get Dive? So then, well, that means you got Dash Master somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Sprint
Dash Master was at
didn't-
Sportstrom.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, she got it really early. That was actually a big movement advantage because she got it like 20 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, GT Woods runners. The next race is tomorrow at 3 PM EDT. It's Jetfire versus Panda Bear. Account by Rev and Jason. So definitely tune in for that. And I think we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, GG's to both runners. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks
Goodbye.
for watching. Bye-bye.
All right.